Sightsee the Tarot is a series on my channel through which I take you on a tour of tarot books, spreads, techniques and tips, different decks, and more. Today's video tutorial will be an introspective tarot journaling session, so please watch while you're seated comfortably with your favorite tarot deck and a journal to ruminate in. We're going to be working with two texts today to figure out the tarot keys of your birthday and then journal through those keys to, figure out your life purpose. No big deal. Muriel Hasbrouck penned Tarot and Astrology, The Pursuit of Destiny, which was first published in 1941 and reprinted with multiple editions over the years through the 1980s. The late Muriel Bruce Hasbrouck was a classical pianist and a journalist. She was dedicated to research on space-time forecasting alongside her husband, Louis Hasbrouck, a Yale graduate, veteran of the U.S. Air Force, and economist who worked on Wall Street. Muriel Hasbrouck was also said to have been friends with Paul Foster Case and was inspired to deep dive into the study of tarot because of Case. Hasbrouck then sought a scientific study of the intersection between tarot and astrology. Since it can be tough to get a copy of her book, I recommend Tarot Correspondences by T. Susan Chang, which contains the same tarot and astrology data found in Hasbrouck's texts. You're going to start by downloading the supplemental handout. Unless you're well studied on tarot and astrology and already know your tarot card correspondences per your date of birth, download the handout and begin this exercise by identifying your major arcana and minor arcana keys per your birthday. I'll just use myself as an example. My birthday is September 24th. That makes me a Libra sun sign. I check the handout and see that the major arcanum key correspondence for Libra is key 11, Justice. In the Spirit Keeper's Tarot, key 11 is titled the Chancellor. So I go through my favorite tarot deck and pull out key 11. A great way to work with your Spirit Keeper's Tarot deck is to journal with your birthday cards. When completing the journaling prompts in the downloaded handout, jot down your keywords and phrases from the little white book or the medium white book. So for example, the major corresponding with your sun sign, mine is key 11, the Chancellor. I'll check the little white book that comes with the Vitruvian edition of the deck and read the section about key 11, the Chancellor. Then I jot down my keywords or phrases prompted by what I've read. Now for the second part. There are two ways to go about this. If you've never had your own birth chart cast and you don't know anything about astrology, no worries. Locate your sun sign in the left column. Yeah, astrology nerds, sorry, it's not in the zodiac order because I made this chart based on the planetary order, which you see in that center column. Then note your sign's planetary ruler. To keep this video tutorial simple, let's just work with the modern rulerships. The handout has some further notes on traditional versus modern. For me, the planetary ruler of my sun sign Libra is Venus. So in this approach, I would go with key 3, the Empress. Likewise, locate the tarot card assigned to your planetary ruler. If you're familiar with your own birth chart and on screen you see Walt Disney's or you know what your ascendant sign is, then go with the planetary ruler of your ascendant since that is your chart ruler. For Walt Disney, he's a Virgo rising, so his chart ruler is Mercury. If you don't know anything about your birth chart, then stick with your sun sign, your horoscope sign. Walt Disney was a Sagittarius, so the planetary ruler over his sun sign would be Jupiter. Okay, your turn. Pause the video to pick out the first major, the one based on your sun sign. You got it? Great. Now you're going to select your second major arcanum key. If you know your chart ruler, find the tarot card for your chart planetary ruler. If you're like, what the hell is that? Then find the zodiac sign in the left column for your birthday. That's your sun sign. Then find its planetary ruler in the second column. Then you'll have determined your second card from the major arcana. Pause here until you've selected your second major, then resume. You should now have selected the two major arcana cards based on the astrology of your date of birth. The third card you're going to pull out is from the minor arcana. Return to the supplemental handout for this episode and locate your date of birth from the left column. The corresponding tarot card in the right column is going to be your birthday card from the minor arcana. Back to me. My birthday is September 24, so my minor arcanum key is the Two of Swords, because right there. How the heck are these minor arcana correspondences for birthdays determined? Well, in esoteric tarot, each of the minor arcana cards are assigned a deacon ruler. Some people say Deacon, but in the French tradition, the pronunciation is more in line with Deacon, and in Latin, it's more in line with Deacon. So I'm just used to saying Deacon. And I mean, really? You're going to get assholey over pronunciation? Man, how ethnocentric of you. Every 10 degrees of the astrological wheel, and thus the path of the sun, our calendar year, is equivalent to roughly 10 days. We mark these as 10 degrees in the astrological wheel. These cycles of 10 days of a solar year are the basis of Muriel Hasbrouck's text, Tarot and Astrology. Okay, let's see if we can give some basic instruction on deacon rulerships. You're going to see the date in the top left corner, and I want you to always follow the sun sign around the chart, okay? We're going to demonstrate with the spring equinox in the year 2019. The sun enters Aries at 0 degrees at exactly 3 o'clock p.m. on March 20th, the spring equinox. March 21st, we still have the sun at 0 degrees. On March 22nd, the sun moves into the position 1 degree in Aries. Look at the subdivided sector in Aries where you see the symbol for Mars. This is the deacon ruler Mars in Aries, which corresponds with the tarot card, the Two of Wands. If your birthday is between March 21st and March 30th, then this would be one of your birthday cards. Let's move on to March 23rd, and the sun moves into 2 degrees. March 24th, 3 degrees. March 25th, 4 degrees. Day by day, the sun sign degree moves up 1 increment until it reaches 10 degrees on March 31st. Then on April 1st, the sun moves into 11 degrees Aries, and here you'll see it's under a new deacon ruler. The sun is now under the deacon ruler sun in Aries, which is the Three of Wands. April 1st birthday, your birthday card is the Three of Wands. And that was essentially a 10-day increment. So every 10 days is under a different deacon rulership. Now, on April 19, the sun is just at the cusp of Aries and Taurus, that 29-degree position. On April 21st, the sun moves into the sun in Taurus at 1 degree. On April 22nd, it's in Taurus at 2 degrees. The deacon ruler is Mercury in Taurus. That's the Five of Pentacles, or in the Thoth, the Five of Discs. In the Spirit Keeper's Tarot, this is the spirit of the vagabond. If your birthday is April 22nd, this would be one of your birthday cards. Hasbrouck proposes that the minor arcanum tarot card that corresponds with the deacon ruler over your date of birth will reveal much about your life path, life purpose, lessons to learn, soul contract, and fundamentally who you are. Bonus level, this part isn't in Muriel's book, it's what I'm adding to the mix. Identify the court card that corresponds with your birthday, your age, and the gender you identify as. Once again, you'll find the reference tables in the supplemental handout. We did this significator exercise already in the Paul Foster case episode. Another bonus beyond Hasbrouck's text, the ace that corresponds with your elemental dominance. Again, 2 approaches for you to choose from. Approach number 1. If you know the elemental dominance in your birth chart, then go with that. Walt Disney would go with being Earth dominant. Approach number 2. If you don't know anything about your birth chart, then choose the ace corresponding with the minor arcana suit of your significator card. Walt Disney might have gone with the King of Wands, which is a fire sign, so the ace he chooses is the Ace of Wands. You can see a correspondence table up on the screen for your reference. For example, I'm the Queen of Swords, the Suit of Swords, so I'd go with the Ace of Swords. Now it's your turn. Pause here to identify your birthday cards from the minor arcana. When you resume, you should have a string of 5 cards set out in front of you, 2 majors and 3 minors. Don't forget to consult the reference tables in the free supplemental handout. Using myself as an example, I now have key 11 Justice or Chancellor for my sun sign Libra and key 3 the Empress because Venus is the planetary ruler of Libra. Since I'm an Aquarius rising, I could have also gone with key 0 the Fool card for my chart ruler Uranus if we're using a modern rulership, or key 21 the World card for Saturn if we're using traditional rulership. With a September 24 birthday, my deacon ruler is the moon in Libra, so my card is the Two of Swords. For the court card significator, I'm the Queen of Swords. In the Spirit Keeper's Tarot, I can look at this as character traits of my higher self, my holy guardian angel, divine genius, or spirit guides. And finally, my ace is the Ace of Swords. Now, I don't care if you're a beginner or a seasoned professional tarot master. I want you to get out all of your favorite tarot books and look up the card meanings to your birthday cards, all of them one by one. For each birthday card, jot down keywords and phrases that just seem to leap out at you from the card entries. Do this for all of your birthday cards, jotting down keywords, phrases, and all of your insights into the characteristics and key forces of these cards. Pause here and resume when ready. Now, this next part is a little hard, but try your best to distance yourself from your biases of who you think you are. You want to read these 5 cards together based on this string of cards. If this was a tarot reading for someone else, not you, but someone totally not you, and you've got the keywords and key phrases you've jotted down into your notes, answer the following questions. What are the main attributes of this personality? What can you discern as some of this person's strengths? What do you discern as some of this person's weaknesses? What is the one major character flaw of this individual? What gifts, talents, or skills does this person have to contribute to the world at large? What is this person's life purpose? And if you're frantically trying to jot all of this down, you goofball, I got you. There's a PDF handout with everything printed already. Now pause the video for what better be a very long time and write out your responses. Resume when ready. Collectively, in sum, these 5 cards represent one of many character archetypes brought into being to be part of this social collective, to contribute to the collective in rather particularized and defined ways. Review your written responses to the 6 questions and take a moment to reflect on how it aligns or maybe doesn't align with what you know of yourself, who you think you are, and what you want out of life. Now turn these 6 questions on to yourself. From the 5-card spread you've got set out in front of you, answer the following questions. 1. What are the main attributes of your personality? 2. What are your natural strengths? 3. What are your natural weaknesses? 4. What is your one major character flaw? 5. What gifts, talents, or skills do you have to contribute to the world? 6. What is your life purpose? Pause here to journal your personal reflections on these questions. This is a really great tarot counseling exercise or even just a self-help tool. Get together with a tarot friend and converse about your reading impressions and journaled notes. Take turns answering these 6 questions out loud. Hear yourself talk about this archetype to your friend. After you're done, your tarot friend can ask questions to help deepen your thought process or express a different perspective or even offer his or her own insights about the archetype presented by your 5-card spread. Then switch. For your next local tarot meetup, watch this video together and then pair up and give this exercise a try. Muriel Hasbrouck believed that your destiny, life purpose, and fundamental nature could be revealed at the intersection of tarot and birthday astrology. I've personally found self-reflection prompted by the tarot keys of my birthday to be instructive. The more time and thought you invest in this tarot journaling exercise, the more you are going to get out of it. Whether you are 16 years old or 76, give this meditative self-reflection session a try, and then let me know in the comments section how it worked out for you.